We're going to make some homemade pancakes with homemade strawberry syrup. Well, hi everybody. I am Elizabeth with Live Simple, Live Free, and we're going to make some pancakes today. But what I'm going to show you is that with my Thrive Life ingredients and just a couple other little things around that I have around the house, I could make these in any kind of an emergency situation because all the ingredients don't have to be refrigerated and they keep for a really long time, and I can make just as much as I need. And I want to show you how I'm going to do that. The first thing that I did was I decided to make up some of the butter. It's actually from Thrive Life. Most of our Thrive Life food has a 25-year shelf life and before it's opened, and then a year after it's opened. Butter is an exception because it's a fat, and so basically its shelf life is considered to be around 5 years. That's still really good. So what I did is I put some butter in here and added a little bit of water and just whipped it up. And I'm going to use that butter, and we're going to have some butter to put on top of the pancakes.
How much water did you use?
You just put a teeny bit in at a time until you get exactly the consistency that you want. It depends on how thick you want it. Oh, it didn't take much at all, just a little bit, a couple tablespoons fulls at a time there, until I got it just the consistency I wanted. It didn't take very long. So that's ready to go. Now, I'm going to take some of our gorgeous strawberries here, and we've often talked about how that the strawberries, by the time you're done with the can, there's sort of a powder at the bottom, and it's wonderful for putting in all sorts of things. Ice cream, yogurt, frostings, lots of things. This is a fairly full one, so I don't have that much at the bottom, so I'm going to make my own crushed up strawberry powder to make pancakes syrup with. Now, you see here, it has one ingredient. Strawberries. That's all that's in there. It's just freeze-dried strawberries. So I have started here. I have been so anxious to get to use my Pioneer Woman mortar and pestle. And so I decided I would use it with these nice, dry, crunchy strawberries. Because if I put just this much in my bullet, it's big, and I might tend to not be able to get all of it really out of that great big bullet that I would like to have. This, I could just get it to the consistency I want. You can have a little more finesse, leave some more chunks. Now, you could use a food processor, all sorts of different things to break these up and to make a little bit of the powder here that you can see in the bottom, and that'll flavor up that syrup. I'm doing kind of a little bit at a time. Oh, do they smell good. And until I get enough that it'll make enough syrup for us to have some syrup with our pancakes. Now, as long as I have water and a source of heat, I could do this under very emergency circumstances. I would not have to have electricity. I would have to have something I could cook them on. We could probably even fry them on our rocket stove. And you don't have to worry about refrigeration. So I really appreciate that. I was thinking that putting together the kind of dry mix that I'm going to show you would be an easy thing to put into a jar to make a very handy, easy, quick pancake breakfast. I have jars, and they're all set up with my garden in Virginia. I don't have any here with me. And we've discovered that this time of year isn't an easy time to find more canning jars. So, okay, so I've crunched this up. I really think this mortar and pestle is so pretty. There we go. I've got a lot of powder, and then I've got some pieces, so that I've got some nice strawberry pieces. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm not giving you an exact measurement on this because it depends on how much you want to make. You can do everything to taste, and you can see about how much I've crunched up in here, and sweeten it to taste. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here so you have what you need for your pancakes. I'll give you exact measurements for the pancake mix. Okay. Now I'm using It's monk fruit. That works very well for us. We don't use sugar. And this will work very, very nicely in here. And I'm just going to sprinkle some on, and then I'll add more later if it looks like I need it, to try to make it just kind of nice and sweet. If this was raspberries, I'd have to add a lot more. But strawberries tend to be kind of sweet themselves. A little tart, but they're sweeter than raspberries. Okay, I'm going to start this. I'm just going to grab some water. We have good water here. Now, I don't want to put too much. There we go. Until I see how it's going to do. And I'll put this a little pan. I got to be careful of my burner here. Okay. See? Oh, it's already just getting the strawberry all mixed in with that water, and it's got the sugar. Yum, yum, yum. Now I'm going to heat this up and see how it does. I have a little bit of cornstarch that I could add, which is another thing that you can have on hand in a dry, unrefrigerated pantry for emergencies. But I may be able to do this without even adding any cornstarch. Okay, let's give this a chance to get going. There we go. All right. Now, we have our butter and we're getting some syrup going. So how about if we look at how to make the pancakes themselves? So let's start putting together our pancake batter. I wanted to show you, I did all my measuring already. It just makes it more efficient. Aren't those cute? But I did use my Pioneer Woman little measuring cups. I think they're so cute. See the cow? All right. Now, everything I'm putting in here has come either from our Thrive Life or some things that we just kind of keep in a pantry dry anyway. So I'm going to use this old-fashioned sifter. Can you tell, as Pioneer Woman? My mom used to use these all the time, and they are wonderful for blending dry ingredients together. And by the time I have all my sifting done here, the only thing I need to put in to make my pancakes is going to be water. So you'd be able to get non-refrigerated ingredients and be able to make pancakes or make pancake mix without having to have any refrigeration, and it would be all dry. So that can be very handy. All right, let me look at my recipe here. I already put 1.5 cups of flour in here. It's the Thrive Life gluten-free flour. I can't have gluten. And it's very, very good. I can use it cup for cup, and it does really well. So I have 1.5 cups of flour I went ahead and put in here. And then I was going to have everything else sitting out all nice and pretty, and I forgot and stuck the sugar in there. So, and we used the monk fruit. So it has a tablespoon of just basic white sugar, which in my case was the monk fruit. And that's already in there. Now let's add the rest of the things. I keep baking powder around. That's not Thrive Life, but I'm going to put in 3.5 teaspoons now in here of baking powder. They're so cute. Bill's grinning at me. Okay, I've got the sugar in, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I'm using the pink Himalayan salt. And they said that if you need more salt, you can add more to taste, but you want to put in like 1/4 teaspoon. Now, we're going to be having 1.25 cups of milk. It's very interesting that if you keep in mind 6 ingredients, you can wrap your head around pancakes and several different kinds of things. And that is that the dry ingredients need to have at least flour, baking powder, and salt. And your wet ingredients need to have milk, eggs, and then some kind of fat. In this case, it'll be butter. So if you have flour, baking powder, salt, and milk, fat, and eggs, you can put together very nice pancakes or waffles, just a little bit different proportions. So I have measured out the amount of Thrive milk that I would need to make 1.25 cups of milk. This is very good flavor. It doesn't taste like your basic instant milk from the grocery store. So I've still got all powdery, nice powdered dry ingredients in here. Okay. I'm going to add some vanilla. Now this it's called Cooks, and we get this on Amazon. In fact, we're going to have to open a new one. But it's a powder vanilla. And I'm going to put it's about a scant teaspoon of the vanilla. Okay, now this is my butter powder. And obviously I'll be adding a little bit more liquid than the recipe calls for, because the butter will need a little bit and the eggs will need a little bit, but it's not going to be much. So now I'm actually adding butter. I don't have to melt it, it's in there. And then 1 large egg. I'm using the Thrive Life eggs. We love them. Actually, it's up here because we use them all the time. And 2 tablespoons with 3 tablespoons of water is 1 large egg. So that is all of my ingredients except water. And I'll get once again, these are Pioneer Woman, but aren't they pretty? It's everything from a 2 tablespoon down to a 1/8 of a teaspoon. That'll go over here. All done. Okay, flour, baking powder, white sugar, vanilla, salt, milk, butter, and egg are going to all be in this powder. And I'm going to go ahead and sift them together so they'll be very well mixed. I remember doing this with my mom and my grandma. Isn't it neat how these things work? I was so thrilled to find one. I didn't think you could even find them anymore outside of maybe a Vermont country store catalog. They have a lot of neat older things. But it just gets everything nicely mixed together and light. And fine. There we go. I do want to show you that as my butter has been sitting here ready, it's thickening up more, and it just looks just like soft butter. And I'll tell you, it tastes like soft butter too. And if we look here, the syrup is just doing beautifully. It's thickening up. Oh, that's going to be good. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, I thought I had a big stirrer here. Let me grab it real quick. I'm going to use this big wooden spoon. Okay, we're going to make a well in all of our ingredients here. You can see some of the yellow for the egg. All right. Now I'm going to start by putting in the 1 1/4 cups. That's going to be for the milk. So put in 1 cup. That's perfect. And a little tiny bit more for 1/4 cup. Okay, so I'm starting out by putting the 1 1/4 cup of water that would have been the equivalent of the milk. And of course my milk's going to mix in with it here. And then really you just add a little bit more to help with some of the Thrive Life ingredients. And with pancake batter, you don't want to overmix it. If it's got a few little lumps in it, it's still going to be quite good. All right, I'm only going to need to put a little bit more. Right now we're kind of looking at biscuit dough. Smells good. Ah, there we go. It's getting a good consistency now. It has all the ingredients in there that you need for pancakes. It's just that you can start them out with all dry and just add water. Okay. You know, I started cooking for my family when I was around 11 years old. I cooked most of the dinners by the time I was 12 because both of my parents had to work until the evening. And Dana, my sister Dana, did a lot of the baking. I did a lot of the cooking. And so it's interesting. Cooks tend to make things kind of by eyeing it, smelling it, seeing what it looks like. Bakers, of course, have to be very precise so it comes out right. So she's a very precise baker, and I'm a very improvisational cook. So there we are. I think that's going to be great. I don't want it to be too thin, but there we are. Beautiful, beautiful. Now it's a good idea to let a pancake batter rest for just a minute. Okay, that's looking good. Okay, here is my biggest skillet. I'm going to go ahead and move you over here. My biggest skillet. These are beautiful. The company is Sensarte, Sensarte. We found these on Amazon. We're not affiliated, but they have been wonderful pans and a really nice surface without the damaging, dangerous chemicals. So I appreciate them a lot. Oh, all right, guys, this is looking perfect. Little bit lumpy. Looks like pancake batter to me. Okay, I have made some butter here. It's all mixed and ready to put on top of our pancakes. And then I'm actually going to put my pancakes in this very non-stick surface of this pan. I think about a half a cup is good. I think I can fit maybe 3. There we go. And you know with pancakes, you want them to cook until the little bubbles on the top have started popping open. This is just a medium heat. Oh, I probably shouldn't have had them touch, but they'll still taste good. There we go. Now this entire recipe, obviously, could also work fine with just your basic ingredients. You know, eggs from your fridge and milk from your fridge and butter and all that. You just melt it. But I wanted to show you how these wonderful pancakes could be made even if we were in an emergency situation and cooking on a rocket stove. And we could still make something fun like pancakes just from what we have in the pantry. All right, I'll be back with you as soon as these get bubbly and ready to turn and ready to serve. Okay, I think these are ready to flip. We've got popped bubbles. Yeah, let them cook it a little bit on this side and we'll have some pancakes ready. Smell good. Now this recipe that I have here, by the way, is supposed to make 8 pancakes. And I think it's about a half a cup that you put in to make them. So about 8 pancakes. So here we go. All right. I'm going to just get a few more going here. They didn't stick at all. I might be making them a little bit big because I think this is going to make more like 6, but I think they're a little bigger. There we go. That'll be plenty for a very nice breakfast. Of course, you can adjust the recipe to who needs to eat and how big your family and how many they might want. And there we go.
Okay, thank you, dear one.
Yep. Let's have a blessing.
Sure, go ahead.
We love you, Jesus, and we just thank you for the provision of this food. May it be to our nourishment. Thank you for all the people watching. Bless them and help them have a great day. We love you and ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. So, some of the refreshed Thrive Life butter.
Mm-hmm. It's so much fun having actual butter when I don't have refrigeration. You know, that's amazing. We put the strawberry syrup in a little pitcher. So it all looks nice.
Fresh strawberry syrup from freeze-dried. It's amazing. There you go.
And we splurged.
And we got, freeze-dried whipped cream.
No, right? Now
from Ready Whip.
You could take milk and make it kind of thick and then beat it, and it would probably work. I have a hand mixer.
There you go.
But he wanted to have some whipped cream on there, so we did. Now this is actually just real cream, and it doesn't have sugar in it. So once again, we try not to use sugar. It has A little bit of artificial sweetening, but it's basically just cream. I kind of like to eat mine one at a time, so I spread them out. It looks like we made a good amount of the syrup. There's a little bit left if you need more. You know, if we don't have refrigeration, if this was an emergency, it'd be nice to know that we can use up the syrup easily and not be wondering what to do with it to keep it refrigerated. Oh, does that look good? Oh my goodness, I can't wait to try this.
You know, it tastes just like strawberry pancakes are supposed to taste.
Yeah. Well, it's made out of just real ingredients. It's just real food. Shouldn't have looked off my knife. I'm going to hear about that. It's just a butter knife. What do you think, hon?
Very good.
Excellent.
The freeze-dried food is amazing because you can put it in the blender and powder it. And there are so many things you can do with the powder. It's unreal. Make strawberry or raspberry syrup like this. You can make baby food. Just take the powder with you and then put in a little bit of water, mix it up to the consistency you want. None of the extra junk that baby food has in it, you know, those little jars of baby food.
Right.
It's just, the ideas are endless.
We have friends that do tube feeding for their daughter. Yep.
Tube feeding, yeah.
Yep.
You can use the chicken or the beef, grind it up into powder and add it to soup for flavoring the soup stock.
For broth, yes. It's very good. Or like the mushroom powder does wonderful things to a broth. You know, almost anything that is powdered up, there's some really wonderful use for it. I put it into frosting for a special cake, so it puts real fruit in there. You can powder things up and hide amazing amounts of green vegetables into spaghetti sauce. You know, for kids that are really fussy, there's just so many different imaginative things you can do. Potatoes that are kind of crumbled up, wonderfully thicken a potato soup with real potatoes. So you're not using like a cornstarch or something. You can thicken it with the actual potatoes. How you doing over there, sweetheart?
Yeah, it's good.
So we could have just taken our pan right off the rocket stove outside and come in and had a really lovely brunch. That's what this is today. It's a brunch.
Now, I just wanted to tell you that the cheapest way by far to buy Thrive Life food, our link is in the description down below. The cheapest way to buy it is to join the monthly delivery service. If you do that, you're going to get 15% off of all prices across the board. Plus, you're going to get free shipping for orders over $99 or more. And shipping is 12% in the US, so that's 27% savings, 15% plus 12%. It's absolutely the best way, the cheapest way, and easiest way to buy it. Delivery is completely customizable. You can skip a couple months if you want. You can cancel at any time. There's no obligation to that. And also, of course, Thrive Life is a really great business opportunity if you're looking for something to earn a little money on the side or to earn a full-time income. Thrive Life's your ticket. If you want more information about that, in the link below you'll find a phone number, and you text the word Thrive to that phone number, and I'll send you more information about the business opportunity. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you some ideas of the kinds of things that are possible with Thrive Life freeze-dried food. If you have it in your pantry, it's always available. So thanks for watching.
Yeah, live simple.
Live free. You be blessed. We'll see you next time.
Yep. Love you guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Mindy and I'm from Tennessee, and I want to tell you just a few reasons why I love Thrive Life. One is you can eat it right out of the can. I mean, how great is that? The banana chips are wonderful, by the way. Also, it saves so much on waste. Being single, if I buy a pack of celery, I don't usually use it all and it just goes to waste in the refrigerator. So with this, I can just open the can and get out what I want, put it in my recipe, and I'm all good. And plus, I love that there's no GMOs, no artificial flavors. It's just simple ingredients. and I just love it. So thank you.